This isn't going to be a simple retelling of the Lavender Town rumors. I find the creepiness of Pokémon Red and Blue goes far beyond that. You see, Lavender Town was designed to be unsettling, but what fascinates me are aspects of games not meant to be creepy, but turn out to be chilling. So today, I'll be going into the creepy side of Pokémon Red and Blue. The first generation of Pokémon games feel isolating. Your mission is to become the Pokémon champion and catch all 151 Pokémon, but whenever I leave Pallet Town during the start of my playthroughs, I'm overcome with a sense of loneliness. Like all Pokémon games, you travel from town to town and meet new people, but unlike the cheerful and overly positive adventure you get in other games, there's a feeling that the world is against you in this generation. Every trainer wants to battle you, while some even insult you, especially your rival. You're a small town kid trying to make a name for yourself, but the world actively resists you at every turn. What's morbid to me here is the journey is reflective of early adulthood. Many people in this stage of their life don't really have an established identity. Navigating the world can be brutal, and not everyone is going to be supportive of the choices you make. Whether or not these ideas were intentionally baked into the DNA of Gen 1 Pokemon games doesn't change the fact that what's supposed to be a game of childlike escapism contains adult undertones that hit close to home. But on the topic of isolation, I find the graphics of these games adds to that feeling, especially if you're playing on the original Game Boy. Everything is black and white, which, when compared to later Pokemon games, even Gen 2, is almost trippy. You can tell from many of the different areas that the overworld was designed with a lot of thought. It's just bizarre seeing that the world of Pokemon, known for its color and liveliness, is in such an archaic state here. Gen 1 from a graphic standpoint feels so different from the rest of the series that there's no sense of belonging to me, which makes subsequent playthroughs feel all the more isolating after revisiting other generations. Next, I want to talk about the designs of Pokemon. If you thought the graphics felt off, just wait until you see the sprite work for some of these creatures. The sprites range from normal, to goofy looking, to downright weird. I do want to mention some sprites look different between the two versions, so what you see in red for instance might look different in blue. Let's go through a few examples. First, we have Mr. Mime. This abomination resembles Mr. Mime, but the much rounder proportions and pink rings around the eyes takes a cute Pokemon and turns it into an intimidating monster. Then we have Mew. Mew looks like a hunched over piece of flesh, and I think what's supposed to be its arm resembles bone or muscle. I don't know, looking too closely at this one hurts my eyes. Finally, we have Hitmonchan. I don't like how sinister it looks, just look at the serial killer eye shading here. The sprite designers tried adding depth perception with the boxing gloves, but to me, it just looks like one of its fists are abnormally larger than the other, which I don't want to think about at all. Overall, I've always hated this sprite for how ugly and unsettling it looks. I don't feel ready for it to visit me in my dreams again tonight. Lastly, I want to go over a couple of glitches in the games that really ups the creepiness of Gen 1. I'm sure we're all familiar with the infamous MissingNo glitch, but if you're not aware, I'll give you a brief summary. MissingNo is a glitched Pokemon that can be encountered by watching the tutorial in Viridian City, then flying to Cinnabar Island and surfing on the right side of the island. The whole spot becomes glitched after watching the tutorial, and you can encounter all kinds of weird Pokemon here, like level 132 Mewtwo. But the famous Pokemon residing here are both MissingNo and M00. With MissingNo specifically, it's a bird-type Pokemon, yes, bird-type, that has the ability to duplicate the 6th item in your inventory, giving you plenty of Master Balls and rare candies. But just look at it, the alien-like mess of textures. While MissingNo may seem like a useful glitch, catching it can be a double-edged sword. Your Hall of Fame becomes eerily corrupted, and your save file can even be erased. I've always thought of MissingNo as sort of a demon locked up within the game that tempts the player, and clearly, others had similar lines of thinking, as MissingNo has become a famous creepypasta tied to the Lavender Town rumors. The other glitch I wanted to talk about is the quick Mew Glitch. The footage you're seeing now is taken from the YouTuber Wooggle Smith, who I'll link in the description below. In Gen 1, Mew was only obtainable at a real-life event, but you can get one yourself by triggering a specific trainer battle north of Cerulean City, immediately teleporting away with an Abra, beating a different trainer, then returning to Nugget Bridge where Mew is encountered. The reason I find this glitch to be creepy, along with the more obvious MissingNo glitch, is because they are broken to the point where the player sees behind the curtain, glimpsing at things they should not be, seeing the game in a very vulnerable state. That idea of being somewhere or seeing something you're not supposed to has always creeped me out, and the Gen 1 Pokemon games are the perfect tool to experience those feelings. I gave a very brief summary of these glitches, but if you are interested and want to learn more, I'll be linking resources in the description below that goes into full detail on how to successfully pull them off. Throughout this video, I hope I've been able to convey that beyond the surface level creepypastas, Pokémon Red and Blue can feel creepy when you dig a little deeper. It's all thanks to the mix of isolating themes, low quality graphics and sprite designs, along with glitches that break the games wide open. These games aren't bad by any stretch of the imagination, and it's a miracle Nintendo was able to pull off such an ambitious project on terrible hardware. It's just, the technical limitations that Gen 1 Pokemon suffered through gives the player a different kind of experience than they would playing even Gen 2, and that kind of experience, to me, is unsettling. In the future, I plan on making a sequel to this video, so if that's something you want, or if you have any suggestions for that, please let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that's it for me. Thanks and have a good one.